All right, welcome to round number 4. Our hand is not bad. I mean, we start on Flame Blade Adept, which is always a good way to go. And then have an enabler, and hopefully can find something powerful to do off of that. Marsh Flats. Okay. So it could be like a black-white nonsense deck. There's a lot of those varieties around, whether it's like the black-white planeswalker like control style deck, or more of like a smallpox strategy, or even a black-white token strategy. Probably not black-white tokens. I don't think they would get a basic swamp there. It could also even be something like 8-rack, I guess. Either way, it's going to be a discard-based semi-attrition strategy. We'll see here. I definitely think the right take is Flameblade Adept, but they might have a removal spell for it, depending on what exactly they're trying to accomplish here. If that's the case, I think they easily take Burning Inquiry. Either way, unless they're 8-rack, which I don't think is very likely, we are probably going to be facing down Lingering Souls this game, which might be tough for us. Tough choice for the opponent, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, I suspect it's between Burning Inquiry and Flameblade Adept. Maybe opponent is particularly afraid of Hollow Ones and things like that. They figure, oh, maybe if I just leave them... I suppose they don't have a removal spell, right? Otherwise, I don't think this is a very tough choice. So they're stuck between these two. They're potentially thinking, you know, maybe if I take the Burning Inquiry, they just kind of flounder for a while, play Flameblade, and have no way to really pump it. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I think that's not unreasonable. I think if it were me, I'd probably still take this. I guess it depends what their hand looks like a little bit too. Maybe they want me to Burning Inquiry, maybe they don't. They did Molt 6 here. But if they're like a Lingering Souls deck, then they probably don't mind getting Inquiried. Or, alternatively, they're AFK. And they're not thinking about this at all. I guess we'll find out. Hopefully they come to a decision soon so we can continue with this game. We've got to continue our, we'll call it an upward trend from our poor start. We've got to keep up the good work here, I guess. All right, opponent does finally decide to take Burning Inquiry. A respectable choice. So now we just need to find another enabler to really put some pressure on. But we have a little bit of time since we get a couple draw steps before we need to be doing something like that. Hollow One. Well, I guess we might have been able to cast a turn 1 4/4 if they hadn't taken Inquiry, so good on them. If I had a Blood Crypt or a way to find one, I definitely would have done that there in case I need to try and cast Bloodghast next turn, but yikes. All right. It might be wise to cycle Hollow One. Since I have so little to do. Yeah, I probably need to find an enabler sooner rather than later. So let's try to get in for an extra point of damage here and See if we can find an enabler to make these bloodghasts better. Alright. Definitely black-white if there was any question previously. Found another land. Not super helpful, but I guess it allows us to cast bloodghasts if we absolutely have to. Alright. Another land. This bloodghast doesn't have haste yet, even if I lightning bolt, so no sense really in casting it now. I don't think my opponent is Esper. I suspect this to just be a white fetch land. We'll continue the anemic beats by throwing down a 2/1. Hollow one on the old cast your bloodghast strategy is not really where we want to be, but sometimes you don't have a choice. It's better than doing nothing. At least we didn't get Lingering Souls to that turn. I mean, that would have been that would have been a hassle. See what they choose here. I suspect another Godless Shrine, but no. Okay, they are Esper. I'm surprised. Probably bolt so that my bloodghast will have haste. I don't have a good handle on what my opponent has in hand right now. Maybe they have path and they're playing around my bolt. Certainly hope they don't have snap, path snap. Oh yeah, that's unfortunate. I guess I can't cast this other ghast since we drew basic mountain as well. Alright, well, it's another land, but the good news is we can cast Bloodghast. Hopefully opponent doesn't have path. We have the Million Lands Bloodghasts combo. They do have path. No more basics. Alright, well at least it wasn't path snap path. Okay, well that's not bad either. It's not bad either. Alright, we're down to one lonely Bloodghast. I feel like my draws today have been a little below average. But I'm certainly a little biased on the subject. Probably just casting that guy. Three, 4 Swamp Walk is not a bad use of my turn. I mean, I didn't really want to have to play another land out, but happy to do it if it gets me a 3/4 Swamp Walker. Thought Scour. Mill's Inquisition Fatal Push. Plays Is it basic planes? I wonder how many basics my opponent has. I feel like I should be blood mooning them, but maybe not. Yeah, I mean, if I found lightning bolt, okay, sweet. I like it. Pretty weird game, but we'll take it. Okay. I think I am interested in these blood moons. I wonder if I should be interested in ley lines. My opponent's apparently playing Thought Scour, so they probably have Delve Threats plus Lingering Souls. I don't know. I don't want to overboard here, but I might be interested in those. Definitely not really interested in any of these or this. This is okay. Explosives is okay. We just mentioned Tasker and Angler, so I guess these aren't the worst, but they probably don't have a lot of them. I guess they're also going to have Snapcaster. So those are considerations. Both seem poor. Wonder if my opponent's going to have particularly strong graveyard hate. Probably only things like surgicals and spell bombs, if I had to guess. Could have ley lines of their own, but I don't think I'm going to preemptively side out much of my graveyard stuff. Could side out a couple ghasts, I suppose, without too much trouble. Ghast for brutality, and obviously we're on 61 right now. Skip these. And ghasts are still fine against Lingering Souls. Obviously Tasker is kind of annoying for them, but one also has paths, but we're obviously taxing those really heavily. I think I'll try it like this. Yeah, definitely a weird game one. Both my opponent's hand and my hand were quite poor, it seems. So we kind of just stared at each other for a while I did some minor attacking that eventually got there. That Street Wraith definitely came in handy though. My opponent finally found Lingering Souls. All right, opponent will choose to be on the play. I imagine they do. We have the old, like, ley line. Actually, this hand has a lot of upside for keeping it anyway, right? It's a turn 1 hollow one if I hit a land, plus I have the Street Wraith. I actually think I'm supposed to keep this, and it's not really on the back of, like, ley line being insane. It's this hand being insane alongside ley line. Like, I would consider this hand anyway. You know, you probably would mulligan it if these were, like, you know, Angler or something, and that was your hand. Like, probably mulligan, but they're not bad to have in my opener. Plus, unfortunately, I did get apparently mismatching ones. I have one land that doesn't match, so that's pretty awful, and we do have to stare at that for the rest of the game. So that's definitely some lost value, but yeah, I mean, this is a turn 1 hollow one if we hit the land, so sweet. Now we do have to make the decision about... since I didn't have to Street Wraith first, we do have to make the decision about Flameblade Adept. I think I'm supposed to Flameblade first. Yeah, I've got to be able to Flameblade first, I think. It makes me more likely to put additional hollow ones in play since I get another card deeper. Plus this hits, whoops. This hits just as hard as a hollow one anyway, if I'm going to be Street Wraith looting next turn. And then when I Goblin Lore the turn after, it'll be even better, so... Or rather, like, still just as good as the hollow one. So, yeah. Not bad. opponent has Rest in Peace. Wow, I'm really surprised. I figured that they would have some kind of graveyard hate, but I did not put them on Rest in Peace. Yeah, that's a big surprise to me. I guess we're not keeping these ley lines in. I definitely, like, they played Thought Scour and yeah, I guess we'll just do it this way. They played Thought Scour and Lingering Souls, so I did not put them on that. I think I just pitch this and keep this as a Lava Spike, keep this as a Lava Spike. Like, I'm not guaranteed to hit my third land. No, I probably go 1 and 1. I guess I could just use it as Lava Spike right now. In which case, it probably doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to do it right now when they can't. I'm definitely supposed to cast this first, but probably supposed to do it right now when they can't kill my Adept. Hand ended up the same, which is fine. We're contented with that. If we find a third land, we have a 2/2 haste flyer. Yeah, I did not expect Rest in Peace. I mean, you can get away with Rest in Peace in these strategies, but not usually in Esper strategies. More like you can get away with it in blue-white when you're... Oh, man. When your number of Snapcasters is lower and stuff like that. Terminus is a pretty fortunate miracle there. Oh, man. We might be not in such a good spot now. Wow. Yeah, that was a turn. That was a turn. Yikes. Yeah, I have a hard time believing we're going to win this game now. My opponent would have to do nothing for quite a long time. Jeez. Yeah, this is pretty over. Guess I cycle this, see if I hit a land. I don't even know. I mean, I guess I get like Flame Wake. It's just this even kills it forever now. Yeah, all right. We'll pack it in. I mean, I was basically already dead to just Veil, but that actually kills us relatively quickly, so. Geez, okay, so definitely do not want these. Definitely am not going to need these either. Might want bolts back just as reach. I don't mind having additional ghasts out, considering that they're going to have more graveyard hate. Yeah, I think I just want the bolts as reach here. Let's try this. I'm surprised they have Liliana the Veil in too. That seems pretty bad against us in general, but yeah, we'll keep this one. Yeah. All right, nothing terribly exciting there. I can't get Mountain off of this. Guess we'll pitch it then. It's kind of, it seems mana inefficient, but I'm hoping to be able to do something else with the other mana. Yeah, all right, we are able to do something else with the other mana. I still have another Blood Crypt left. Unfortunately, pitched a hollow one again and kept my Flamewake Phoenix, or kept a Flamewake Phoenix rather. So not the best inquiry, but the good news is we have Bloodghast. We did ditch a Lingering Souls for our opponent, so that's not great, but we have Bloodghast and a Gurmag Angler, so could be worse. I wonder if that was risky. I guess my opponent had to have a second surgical. And if they're going to surgical... Yeah, no, this makes sense. They would have just surgical to Bloodghast anyway. Which I'm kind of surprised they did not... No, they must have drawn this off of the Inquiry. Otherwise, I think they would have responded to the Inquiry and surgical to gas that was already in there. Or even did it on their turn in case I played fetch land. Or end of my draw step, I guess. Not on their turn, yeah. So that must have been one of the draws off of the Inquiry itself. I imagine they just flash back this Lingering Souls, excuse me. Sweet. Yeah, I guess we're gonna 3-mode that. I don't have a way to return this Bloodghast then. That's fine. See what interaction they may have for my board. Terminus. They do have a rip. Lily rejection. Interesting. Guess they're really trying to get those hollow ones, but yeah, I mean, I'm going to take the Terminus. I mean, they could Mind Sculptor it back, I guess, at some point. The rejection really just doesn't matter. I wonder if I don't attack with the Bloodghast. I think it's worth it. The problem is, if I attack with the Bloodghast, they block, and then they play Tar Pit, Rest in Peace. And the following turn, they play Liliana. Then I have to sack this. Maybe I just save this sack for the Liliana. And then they get to save themselves 5 life at some point with the Spirit instead. But now they have to play the recipes before the Liliana. Like if they played Liliana to minus here, I just sack the Bloodghast, and that's pretty awful, especially without the rip in play. All right, so they play this first, as expected. I mean, I guess I cast this. I could wait, but this game is probably not going on for a lot of turns. I think they're definitely minusing their lilies, so I probably hold this. In case I find a looting. What do we lose, by the way? Okay. No, I think I still save this for the lily. I could like feign lightning bolt, but that's seems kind of silly. Like if I have lightning bolt, I definitely attack with all of them, right? Because if they block my Bloodghast, they just die. But I don't know. I think I just have the extra insulation from Lily and still have a lethal attack next turn. I guess I don't have lethal attack after Lily minus. Maybe I'm supposed to bash then. Yeah, I probably am. Not having a lethal attack after Lily minus is pretty lame. I think I just resoundingly ignore this Liliana. I'm probably supposed to hold both these lands. Oh well, I don't think it's going to make a tremendous difference. Yeah, alright. I will see you in the final round in just a moment.